What did you learn at an embarrassingly late age?
I thought everyone's mouth got itchy when eating bananas. Almost 40 years old and find out I'm somewhat allergic to them.
That I needed glasses. At age 21, my friends were hassling me about being dyslexic because I kept getting words mixed up, second year at uni. Until then, I had just been reading by looking at the shape of words and guessing the words based on the context and wider story. I had been reading this way for years and survived uni before finding out my prescription was plus 1.50. The optometrist said it was amazing I hadn't noticed. When I put the glasses on, everything was in 4K Ultra. I can now see individual letters.
When I was 13, I answered my grandmother's phone and someone asked for Stella, and I told them there was no Stella there and hung up. That was the day I learned that her name is not Grandma, but, rather, Stella.
That our next-door neighbors were lesbians and not just good friends. Lovely people. Didn't figure it out until I was in college.
Women's pads stick to their underwear and not themselves like a band-aid. Edit, thank you all for the awards. Totally thought that this would get about 10 upvotes. I'm glad that I'm not the only one who did not know this.
What's a life-saving tip everyone should know?
In a nuclear explosion, most of the damage and death is caused by the shockwave the blast creates, not the fireball, which has a comparatively small radius. One day you may find yourself outside or looking out a window to see an extremely bright flash. As bright as if you were staring straight at the sun. Do not attempt to locate the source of the flash. You have maybe 8 to 10 seconds to respond if you're far enough away from the fireball. Lay face down on the ground and put your thumbs in your ears and fingers over your eyes. Breathe through your teeth. Since you're laying face down, the shockwave will mostly pass over you. If you're standing up, it can cause your lungs, eardrums, and other organs to explode. Once the shockwave passes over you, you need to find shelter immediately. I said before that most death from the explosion is caused by the shockwave. Well, far more death is subsequently caused by nuclear fallout after the blast. Do not attempt to travel anywhere. Just get underground. If you're next to a complete stranger's house or a business, don't hesitate to go inside and hide out under as much concrete and steel as possible. You need to remain in this location for the next 48 hours. This is critical. Even if you survive the blast, if you attempt to go home and spend just 20 minutes outside traveling, you will more than likely die of radiation sickness. Radioactive material after a blast decays exponentially, and you will be safe to try and find your loved ones after 48 hours. If you don't wait this out, you definitely won't be alive to find them. When you're ready, you need to leave the city and get as far from the fallout as you can.
If your car gets stuck on snow and your tires just spin, you can take out your floor mats and stuff them under the wheel that spins when you press the gas. This will hopefully give the car enough traction to get itself rolling so you can be on your way again.
If you or a person you're with hits their head, briefly loses consciousness, but then becomes awake and alert again, go to the hospital ASAP. You could have what's called an epidural bleed in your brain, which classically presents as loss of consciousness followed by lucidity. If you go home and just try to sleep it off, you likely won't wake up.